those bachelorettes at the gay bars, they really piss me off.
You freaking open your mouth and product comes out.
Don't come between Barton Bradley and a limeade.
Welcome to Coffee with Gays. I am Adam. This is Ryan. Bradley is our special guest today, and our host is Blaine.
Thanks. To kick it off today, I have to say this will be episode 5, and it is all about our amazing friends, Ryan and Brad, and their incredible proposal, which is quite possibly the most hysterical thing I've ever seen, as well as one of the cutest things I've ever seen. And we'll definitely be posting that footage. But also, I just wanted to kind of like open it up and say, because we like to do a little teaser now and a little game. And I'd like to say, what's our favorite feedback that we've gotten on the show? Because as somebody who's been very involved in this project, I have to say, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've never quite taken on something this difficult. And for anybody that thinks a podcast is easy to do, you know what? Come try it. I'll listen to yours and I'll give you feedback too. But I've actually been enjoying all the feedback, and I just kind of wanted to like open the floor about what your favorite piece of feedback we've gotten so far, because it has been extensive.
I learned that I got to speak up between these two, but it's been a very good lesson because it's something that I've been working on in general. I think even before the podcast, so I'm loving it because it's been, really helping me expand that and grow that, because you've got Adam going on for a rant for 20 minutes. So, got that feedback.
Yeah, that's edited down, by the way. It's a lot. It's a lot. I've had to spend a lot of my nights editing you down, but that's okay. I want to bring up one. We just did the Woke Up episode, which we knew was going to be controversial. And, we are kind of sitting in our, we have a left person here. I'm a centrist, I like to think. And Adam leans to the right. And it's hysterical because, Ryan, what was the feedback you got on this episode? That
he couldn't have gotten through the episode if I wasn't here.
Yes. And then you got...
Somebody did say, they were like, oh my gosh, we see your point of view. And it's nice to have somebody that's direct and on point with it.
I think what we are striving to do is really explain. And funny thing, I was at my grandfather's 90th birthday party last week, right before we went to Homosassa. And I got more feedback from my family. There was over 100 people there, including cousins. And I didn't know how many people had listened to us from that. And I got a lot of feedback, and it was all good. But I think one of the most interesting things that I got is a lot of my family is from Texas and Oklahoma, and they're just not used to being around gay people a lot. And they were shocked that there is actually multiple different perspectives on the world. And from the gay point of view. And I think that's what we're here to do, is give a balanced view of it. So.
And for everybody that's listening, there is multiple ways to hear us. You can listen to us on YouTube. There is Spotify. There is Apple Podcast. There is, help me out.
I mean, there's literally every podcast platform. iHeartRadio is another one. Apple is great, and we'd love a review too.
We are bona fide.
Yeah. I mean, it's been great to see those roll in. And we want feedback from everybody else, because maybe you're too afraid to text us. I have to say, one of the things that you do have to have is a thick skin. And I welcome any and all feedback, because I know I'm not perfect. And this started as just a hobby and fun thing to do with us as friends. That wasn't, drinking at the bars, even though I'm drinking right now. Ryan isn't. But yeah, we want to hear all your feedback and what you'd like to hear and what you'd like us to do differently. And it's okay if you are harsh. We are fine with that. I'm just going to say that now. I have to tell everybody that.
We've had a lot of people give us feedback. And the nice part about it is, the funny thing is everybody starts off, I hope you don't get upset. And I'm like, just lay it out. Just tell us. Because without feedback, we can't get better. We can't get any better. So if you have any feedback about Blaine and Ryan, not me, we are good to handle it.
I have to say, yeah, we've gotten some pretty harsh feedback. And, I think, like you said, we're just growing and learning here ourselves. And it is definitely a journey, which is, been really fun.
And if they want, we want the comments, reviews, but if someone wants to email...
Do tell at coffeewithgays.com. I thought that was a fun little email.
Or if you have a good topic that you would like for us to cover, drop it in the comments or send us an email.
And I've got to say too, just so everybody knows, I've learned my lesson. I edit this for the video part of this for YouTube, which we would love you to subscribe to our YouTube and channel, which that has been a whole new platform that I have to learn. And I didn't realize I may have blew out the speakers on the people listening on Apple Podcasts, which is actually pretty high. And I apologize for that. I was just trying to show the difference between Pride Parade in 2023 versus 2018. It was definitely louder, I can tell you that. So
Just like you.
heard, understood, and will be fixed in future. Welcome, Bradley. We are so excited to have.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Wow.
So
Also nervous.
this is my first podcast.
Your first podcast, and your now fiancé, Ryan, is the content creator of the relationship. And you have your TikTok, which is what? Ride with Ryan and Bradley. And I hear that it's really fun that he forces you to do all these different little things that, you do. I mean, I forced you to do things in Homo Sassa, like, that little pride choke on it thing.
Worked out well. You were good at giving the direction.
So now we're here trying to make you more uncomfortable. It's really cute, though. He smiles so cute, though, when he does it. It's great. I love it. Tell us a little bit how you guys met, because ironically, I happen to know because I was there that day. And we had talked about your gay handshake moment. And with Adam. I mean, that's where it started.
Mother, please turn off the...
I picked my mom up from the airport a couple weeks ago. And first thing she says when I picked her up at the curb is, Ryan, no more gay handshakes.
So for anybody who doesn't know what a gay handshake is basically what I've been told is I'm a one-night stand Diane, and fornication happens, and it's a one time. So that's the gay handshake of my life.
Gay handshake. And you guys had just had a gay handshake.
So we had a gay handshake. That's how...
That was early last summer. A group of us was at brunch. I was down house sitting, kind of South Dallas, Bishop Arts area. I was meeting, the accountant and some others. It turned into, like we've talked about, our brunches in Dallas turned into big events. Mm-hmm. So it kind of that was a 20% thing. And then you were there, and then Bradley was there.
I came to that brunch with Adam.
Yeah. Oh.
You guys had actually met on the Thursday before that. After Adam took me to the log cabin Republican event. The membership that he bought me to get in there is probably expired now, because I think it's only good for a year, right?
That was the funny thing. So I took Brad to the Log Cabin Republicans, and I was like, Brad, here's some drinks. We're going to sign you up. And he's like, I'm not buying a membership. And I was like, nope, I bought it for you. Here you go. And he was like, damn it.
I have to say that is one great thing about Brad that I have learned this year. We actually lovingly refer to you, for everybody who doesn't know, because I literally think we say this all the time. He is Bargain Bradley, and he has the best deals out there, including making people pay for memberships, because he definitely won't be doing that. And I've learned to have my tequila bladders with me every single weekend when we go do our Sunday fun days, and it saved me a ton of money. I might actually be rich someday because of it.
Tequila bladder, basically we're just referring to a flask. The plastic looks like a Capri Sun.
Easier to transport for anyone that doesn't know. Actually, what I will do is I will link it in the show notes about what these are, because they are really great and they mold to your pocket. It's really nice. So I'll link it.
We need some branded tequila.
Oh my God, yeah, they're the famous Bargain Bradley bladder for bringing your tequila and saving money, and just topping off that Bloody Mary when it's too soupy. Yeah. So speaking of brunch, you guys met at brunch that day, but that's not where it all kind of started. So continue.
So I waited approximately a week and a half until things were completely over with Adam, and he was already on to the next guy.
Oh, not me.
And then on a Sunday fun day, I saw Ryan at JR's, which is a gay bar here in Dallas, and I Facebooked him my number, gave him a message with my number. He was texting me shortly after.
Was it love at first sight? I have to ask. First of all, I'm really just not. I'm hopeless romantic. I am, but not really. I'm actually more of a a cynic when it comes to this, so don't think I'm coming for you, Bargain Bradley. But was it love at first sight at that brunch?
Can't honestly say it was. I definitely liked his energy. He was wearing earrings that day, which he never really wears normally. But that's not my style personally. No offense to anyone who likes to wear their earrings. But no, I didn't immediately know at that moment. Like I thought he might be like a little bit over the top for me.
Not over the top.
Our friend Michelle threw a pool party. Or actually, no, that was Shannon's pool party, the first one. Shannon's birthday party. Our friend Shannon.
At her apartment?
No, it was at the house that she rented for her birthday. I feel like we connected a little bit there.
Yes.
And then definitely we both were in Austin for Splash, Memorial Day Splash last year. Splash happens at Lake Travis in Austin. It's a clothing optional state park called Hippie Hollow. Normally, the state park are your traditional nudists, not necessarily gays, just people who enjoy being nude. Most of them you would prefer not to see nude.
The new beach down by San Diego, that's like off a cliff. You got to hike down a cliff. What is that, Black Beach? Black's Beach. You got to hike down a cliff, and it's like, well, no wonder why it's nude down there, because nobody that's going to be like against it's going to be hiking down there. I'm like, come on.
So you guys went to Splash, and it's a giant like naked festival. Were you guys naked together, and who liked whose dick more?
So we actually weren't naked at Splash. Most people aren't there. This one talked me into getting naked at the very end, and we were hanging out on one of those lily pads, which is a large foam float. People carry them behind their boat. So we were naked for like 10 minutes.
I've got to say, Ryan was definitely that child that was just perpetually naked. Like, I mean, you have an aversion to clothing.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either a Speedo, but you rock a Speedo really well. We actually should, what I will do is I will post in the video portion of this, you guys in your best Speedo moments, because I think I have a phone full of your Speedo.
Do we have a picture of you guys when you first were when you guys were at Hippie Hollow?
Oh, yes, there is.
Let's post that picture.
So actually, too, just to start like leading up to Hippie Hollow, so this was after you already talked about, we met up at Shannon's birthday party. And then, I think there was a little period between there. We weren't sure if I was kind of flaky or what was going on. And then I already planned to go to Hippie Hollow for Splash. But I knew that I was, especially after that pool party, was definitely like developing feelings and interest. I mean, we were really on each other in an appropriate way. At the pool party, I mean, like, and we're already talking. Yeah, but like it was one of her cousins that was already like saying that we were together or something like that. So that, of course, made it feel like I've gone even more. But I was going down to Splash separately, so we weren't like planning on meeting up down there.
But is that when you guys started like literally never parting from each other's side?
No, Memorial Day, we saw each other one more time before he went on AIDS Life Cycle 2022.
Oh, so you had a whole 7-day break. That must have been really hard for you two.
And I picked him up from the airport when he got back from that.
Okay, so we know how you two were. Like, literally, you could not part these people, these two guys apart. How are you like this when you're in a relationship? Do you want to be together all the time, or do you like space?
I like space.
Girl, me too.
With my boyfriend right now, I love going home to him, and I love having our nights together. But during the day, and it's what's kind of, I think, upsets him, is I don't text him a lot during the day, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? But we have very busy jobs. But I have had other relationships where they're like, you're not like talking to me all the time. And I'm like, I'm busy. I got shit to do.
I screwed up one of my biggest relationships over that exact thing. I was like, look, I'm working and I work till this hour and I can't text all day. And like, I forget to text. And everybody who's friends with me knows that I always forget to text back. I mean, like, you just have to text me. It's not like personal.
Look at me in the group chats. I'm like, give me the cliff notes. I got to know what the hell's going on and give it to me in 2 sentences.
Well, yeah, I am the same way. I need like definite space. You guys clearly don't, because I don't think I've ever seen you guys apart in the last year.
Yeah, we're together all the time, but I think we still find, well, maybe I'll speak for myself. I'll find we find our ways, even if we're in, the same house. He'll listen to his crime shows and say, pause, maybe I need to go do something. else somewhere else in the house. So like we still find ways to like have our own time or be in our own space a little bit.
That's
So we have different, yeah. So I think that's good, and it's definitely been like a learning.
I mean, we've talked about some of your past relationships. Like, was this like a new thing? Like, was Brad the one that was like, oh my God, I can't be apart from him?
Yeah, no, I think this is the first one that's like ever felt that like this. I think that good, easy, comfortable, fun, like all the good things to be with.
That's actually a good segue. So that might be a reason that you actually want to spend the rest of your life with him. What about you?
So same reasons, fun, easygoing, but also I've always felt like I needed space before, and this is the first time that I don't feel a little bit claustrophobic if I'm around him, for a week straight with no like outings by ourselves.
Now, I have been on some journeys of past relationships with Bradley where he has been very frustrated with his partners at those times. And I remember Bradley being like, when am I going to meet somebody? And I just delivered him to you. Lovely.
So, as a couple, what I've always loved about you guys is you both like literally have to be together all the time. And we had a super fun 4th of July 2022 when you decided to ask Brad to be your boyfriend, which pissed off some people on the trip who will remain nameless. It ended in fireworks for real. We almost burned down your parents' house. You drugged your dog by accident with a weed brownie. And this all happened in Homosassa, Florida last year.
We did a couple like actual dates and really started getting close after Memorial Day weekend. And he had asked me out to be his boyfriend the morning after my birthday pool party. And I said, I'm really leaning that way, but I think I need a little more time.
Ryan was dating somebody else ish. Were you dating?
No, or he was interested. It was just like a interest. I mean, maybe I don't know.
How many people you dated once?
It's Ryan we're talking about. I mean, this is old Ryan.
It was like that early stage, just met him or whatever. So, but he was coming to the pool party and had already expressed clearly not liking the idea of me into Bradley. And then I had this revelation where I was like, fuck that. No, like I want to invite this guy over, and I think I put together a really nice text, and he ended up coming over to the pool party. And the other guy left, and I got to keep Bradley.
So that was your birthday.
So that was the birthday.
And then you're like, I need Bradley to come to Homosassa with me.
So Homosassa kind of built up because it was actually the friend that set off the fireworks. There was some, we started basically. My mom asked, "Hey, we want to get out of town 4th of July. Me and your dad and some friends are going to go to Homosassa. So can you just, come out and watch the house?" I said, "Mom, can I throw a rager?" And she's like, "Absolutely, of course." So that's how my mom is. I started inviting people.
We've now all hung out with Cindy, and Cindy is the coolest mom, and I love nothing more, I just have to say.
She tried to steal my man.
She's in love now with Adam's boyfriend. She asked me every time I was filming on the boat, did her boobs look good? And I was like, you have amazing boobs, Cindy, and she can rock a bikini, and she's really amazing. So she asked you to come watch the house.
Yeah.
That didn't go so well.
No. So we ended up adding, people to the group. The one that we shot out name, the gamer, and anyway, Bradley was part of this. So we had a whole group, and then we decided let's go out for the day from Orlando, drive about an hour and a half west out to Homosassa, and just go hang out with them at the springs, at the boat and stuff. So that's how we ended up at Homosassa last year.
And then we went into Manatee Pub, which I have to tell you, this was an amazing experience last time. They would not let us in the first time because they thought we had booze in our Taco Bell cups, which we definitely did. And I, of course, threw a fit. And I was like, I'm just trying to get cash and beers for my friends. Hopefully that's fine. I was very aggressive. And then when we came back, we didn't have shirts on because we gave all the shirts to your mom's friends.
Because I loved them. It said, USA again.
Yeah. USA of Gay. We didn't make you wear one this year, Adam.
Yeah.
We'll definitely post a picture of that one too, because those were great. And they loved us so much after that moment. I mean, well, they said that we had to wear shirts, and then a very lovely lady gave me a shirt.
Not the one that was making the pizza.
No, not her. Donna gave me this amazing shirt. It's like a pink crop top. I frankly should have worn it today now that I think about it.
It's only a crop top on Blaine.
Yeah, anyway, it's a very cute shirt. I looked cuter in it this year than I did last year, but it was wild. And we had a really good time. But then you asked him on the patio, and your mom had something to say. You should tell them that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, like I've been planning, I think once this was now 4th of July, it was already building up. Like I wanted to ask him. And for me, it was really important to do that with my parents there. So it was really cool, I think, to do it that day, fun day with friends. And so when I talked about, telling my mom, like, how I want to ask him out, she takes me outside the Manatee Pub, and she's like, but now you can't sleep with anybody else. Like, all the sex was just him. And we were both like, okay, Mom, okay, of course.
No more gay handshakes.
So let me ask you this, Bradley. Were you surprised when he asked you?
I actually think I was. I didn't think it was going to happen that quickly because it's only been about 2 weeks prior that he said he needed a minute.
You turned him down 2 weeks prior, and then what made you jump the gun so quick?
Maybe it was the tequila.
The tequila talking, and we know how that goes.
I gotta say, it was a super cute moment to witness, and it was a really fun environment. I mean, we were like dancing and partying in that bar. I mean, we really had changed it. So literally these people in very right-wing Homosassa, Florida, who probably haven't ever seen a gay person. Well, actually, we learned about all the gay people in their life, by the way, which I thought it's just hysterical.
This place is a dive bar. Like it is, they smoke in the bar. It's a dive bar. Like I walked in there this year and I was like, where the fuck are we?
As a former smoker, I literally cannot believe still there is any place ever that has smoking in the bar. And I totally forgot. And this year they did too. It's wild, but we were dancing, singing like Highway to Hell with them by the end of the night.
I mean, see, I just chose the most romantic location I could think of, and that's the place.
I'm definitely inserting the video of the Highway to Hell because then I feel like everybody can, and get ready for it because it might be loud. So turn down your car stereo, Bradley, when you're listening on Apple Podcast. Highway to Hell. But yeah, I've got to say, like everybody was like so accepting. They were so excited that you guys were boyfriends. And then they kept coming up to us, telling us about every gay person in their life, including the pizza lady, by the way, her husband, who you did not meet because he was hospitalized apparently this year, or about to be. He has a lesbian and 2 gay sons and also has 12 kids, if I remember right.
He's got 12 kids. Are you really shocked?
You gotta listen to the timeline, and I really wish I was a little more sober or had written it down. I went to Ryan and I said, the timeline on these 12 kids with the baby mamas, but the woman he's with didn't have a kid.
She also didn't have any teeth.
But she didn't, and neither did he. And they were so nice. But we learned about all of his gay kids. And then I was like, the timeline's like really weird. You must have had like 3 baby mamas at the same time. I mean, really, there was no way to do these maths for how long they had been together. It was really shocking.
Sounds like a gay relationship.
So here, a year goes by, okay, and you still haven't left his side. Let's be honest.
No, moved in together in January.
I think the biggest problem in your relationship has actually been the Coffee with Gays podcast. I do. You know how many times we've been here and Brad's like, well, got to get Ryan back. I mean, it's time.
Well, I mean, these things do take 8 hours in a day, so I can understand that because people are not prepared.
I'm sorry, who was late today? Bitch, when we say late, I mean you were an hour late today.
47 minutes late today. I called you and let you know it's going to be an hour late. And I said, please have everything set up so when I walk in, I can sit down and we can roll. But we are not going to do that. We're going to move over. And furthermore, back to the relationship.
Well, I don't got to respond. I know I said I wasn't going to yell. But I have to say, we had to go over today's content so that we have a nice organized flow and we're not just going off the handle, which is a lot of feedback we got on episode 1 and 2.
That's why this will be edited.
I'm done with Mrs. Bailey, the talent.
So a year later, you organized a trip back to Homosassa.
Basically, Ryan came to me a few months prior. I mean, you've really been planning this for a while. I will say that's one thing that's super cute about Ryan. I think he's just such a planner and everything that, like, I really can't even remember the first time. Okay, you wouldn't think it, but with this engagement, he has been hemming and hawing over this, I think, since January. Would that be accurate?
Even sooner. I think one thing that, like, now, so like last summer, there was a lot of songs. I'm not going to steal your song.
If you guys steal my song, which will remain nameless for my future husband.
But I will.
Bitch, nobody's stealing my Chris Young song. That is my song, Chris Young. I love you. No. You have a song. No. You have 1,000 country songs that you can have, and you got like Reba McEntire. You both love Reba McEntire, huge fans. She's got a huge catalog.
Point is, that summer, last year, Homosassa started getting some songs together and just very naturally ended up naming the playlist Wedding. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to like let myself name this. I don't really know why, but whatever. I'm going to go with it and kind of let these fit. So I just kind of started adding to that playlist, and then our relationship kind of kept.
You started it then?
I mean, at least the song playlist.
It's a little psychotic.
Is your invite list already done?
I'm just saying it was feelings towards that, which was blowing my mind because like I felt like, can I accept that? Like, am I ready?
I have to ask Brad. I have to ask him. Did he share the playlist with you, and were you like okay with it?
So I knew that he had a playlist, but he did not tell me what it was titled until just a couple months ago.
Okay, because I probably would have run.
So I want to ask this. Did you guys have the marriage talk like previously? Was it like a month ago, 2 months ago? Like, and who was like, hey, if we do this, I am proposing, not you. Like, how did that come up?
This is great because I think especially like the straight listeners are super confused by how we date each other and who asked the question.
Well, it's not only who asked the question, but the whole breakout, because it's usually the man asks the female. So not calling you the female, Brad, but how did that go down?
I would actually say you're the butcher one too. So how did it go?
After the initial me asking him out and him not being ready, yes, we've talked about it probably since late in the summer. Made mention of getting married, more so after the beginning of the year, after we were actually living together.
Now, are you two lesbians? I thought I moved fast. Damn, girl, I just backed the U-Haul up and dropped the shit up.
I do think we have to clarify this for people. Like, there is a term, U-Haul lesbian.
U-Haul lesbians. And that's because U-Haul lesbians, God help if any lesbians listen to this. I'm gonna get
No, they'll agree with you. I actually had my best girlfriend that we went to Pride with. She is a U-Haul lesbian, and she's like, damn, I'm a new lesbian, and I'm a U-Haul lesbian.
So what a U-Haul lesbian is basically you meet somebody, and then you move right in together, and then next thing you know, you're getting married.
Dogs, cats, furniture, everything.
Sounds like my relationship.
It sounds like your relationship. It was definitely your relationship. So are you a lesbian?
No, I wouldn't say that. We stayed together mostly, but we lived separately for more than 6 months or about 6 months.
Were you really separate, girl? I distinctly remember you had your condo, which is in our gay neighborhood, and Ryan's house is a little further out.
We maintained our own places to go back to if we should want to.
Did you?
So instead of U-Haul lesbians, they're the Subaru lesbians.
Yeah, Subaru lesbians, and they just went between their two homes.
But that's awesome that you can do that, because then that means that you two are very well connected. So that's amazing.
I could never stand that much from one person.
Well, nobody could stand still freaking living with you 24/7.
I gotta say, I was really happy to spend so much time with Matt and Homosassa, and I give that boy a lot of credit for dealing with you every single day. And if you can find someone, then I definitely can. There is hope. because that waving finger and the stuff, I couldn't. The loudness. I mean, wow.
That is the pot calling the kettle black with the loudness.
Cleans the kitchen, helps you cook. He doesn't say anything like mean at all. He's just like really just super helpful and sweet. So if you can find it, I can too,
I told
because
him
you found an angel.
I told him if he could keep it together, I'd give him $500.
Well, $500, girl, $500 an hour. That's what I say for you.
We know if you get rid of him, who's coming after him? My mom.
Yeah, he's already got a second in line. Cindy's coming for Matt. Like, you've got competition, girl. You better treat him right.
And if it ain't Matt, then it might be Mike. So God knows.
Yeah, Mike, your dad likes him too.
He thought he was the most flamboyant one out of this group.
Really?
I mean, I got your dad saying "grr."
I know.
But I
was shocked.
I got his dad saying "grr." Like, literally the straightest, most Florida man you can meet is saying "grr" now.
And he wore Speedo.
And he wore a Speedo, which was really, really amazing.
We all jumped on a flight, went to Homosassa.
I got to back it up just a little bit. There were 2 engagement times. We had AIDS Life Cycle and we had Homosassa, Florida. And Ryan could not decide when it was. Did you think it was going to be at AIDS Life Cycle, Bradley?
I thought there was a chance.
I mean, 7 days in a tent with someone, you should know that.
I mean, we hadn't hit our official 1 year yet, so I wasn't completely surprised when it didn't. But that was one of the options that I kind of had in the back of my mind.
Now, were you exhausted and couldn't pitch a tent when you were on the AIDS Life Cycle? Or did you have to have somebody else help you?
I still don't understand that, by the way, like just the shower situation and everything. Like, oh, no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Oh, it's in the sweat. And maybe it's actually kind of hot. It is. Yeah. Really? Brad, you liked it too, actually, I got to say. So
everything was really easy besides the biking.
7 days biking 600 miles with like 587 or whatever the hell the line is. But I mean, that you must know then. And then you did kind of know.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like it was a bit of it was a test, right? We're going to see like, how are we going to be together, biking together 545 miles. And I mean, he never really biked before. Early on, he got this bike. We did hardly any training rides. And he showed up and killed it and did amazing. So, I mean, we didn't kill each other. We were like the opposite of that.
I think you need to explain too that like people train for this for 6-7 months. And I'm now an honorary Funky Monkey roadie, I guess, since I've now been to 2 of these. That's his group that he bikes with. Go Funky Monkeys, we love you. They're also supportive too, by the way.
Okay, roadie.
I'm a roadie. I don't want to do
You're like a crony.
I am a crony. I set up charcuterie at the end of the ride and have a little...
Oh, you can do it there, but you can't do it here.
Not for you. The Funky Monkeys all day long. Yeah, they're not hangry. They're not rude. They're like actually really nice when I show up with charcuterie, but whatever. You just bitch about it. And so anyway, after that, you definitely were like, I'm ready. We're going to do this in Homosassa. LA was definitely not probably the right vibe for it. Obviously, you guys had just gotten back. So then I thought it was super cute. And then I got super excited about Homosassa because I knew it was probably happening. But you still had reservations?
Oh, we're going to smell some tea. I mean, AIDS Life Cycle, like, may become, like, our thing or maybe my thing or whatever. But, like, that was a great event. And I think there's also part of me that...
I'm going to speak up for Brad here. It's going to be your thing. I don't think Brad's idea of fun is 7 days of a bike ride. I mean, you guys did train like twice the whole time.
Not 7 days every year, but I would definitely do it with him again. And when I do it again, I want to take a newbie along with us as well. So one of you decide.
I'm going to do it. I said I'd do it in what are you doing in 2025? I'll do it. I'm terrified to bike on those roads, but it's fine. I'll do it.
I'll do it if it's a moped. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
You'll be taking the bus the whole time, for sure.
I just want to go out the window.
Actually, how about you and I do it together, and then I'll take the bus.
Adam, they have so many snacks. She would love it.
I'd have a low blood sugar in the middle of the 101. I'd be dead.
Can you imagine his sugars on that ride? It'd just be crashing the whole time. This diabetes over here.
Speaking of crashing.
Speaking of crashing, let's talk about the proposal. So, you've been planning it for a long time, for real. But you really did not have the best plan, I have to admit.
I feel like you're right. Like, I feel like it kind of been like on my mind, but honestly, the plan was, there wasn't really a plan until very last minute.
So you had the wedding playlist, but no proposal plan.
Yes, you can say that.
Told you it's Judy.
Tell actually, I thought it was really cute. I have to say, as the overbearing Kris Jenner, Mama Jenner of this crew, I was like, Ryan, what is your plan? Like, how are you going to propose? Like, where are we doing this? We need to have 5 camera angles,
Right.
which, by the way, came in very handy, I have to say.
And if you haven't seen the footage, you may want to watch it because it's quite hysterical with what happens.
We are going to post it for sure. So about a week before you finally got it all together.
Yeah, well, it was the last podcast that we did, remember? And we were talking about, because I had asked, because you guys told me you better be there for Home Assassin. And I was like, why?
You tried to back out. I was going to murder you.
I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together, and I wasn't thinking about it. And then I remember Ryan. Ryan was like, you need to be there. You need to be there. And I was like, oh, I think this is happening. So then we talked at the last podcast, and I was like, is this going to be the proposal? And you were like, yes. And I was like, how are you going to do it? And you were like, I don't know. And I think we need to talk about this quick.
And then fast forward, the funny thing is when I was grilling him about this, I think on a Sunday fun day, he's like, oh, I bought this shell, blah, 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 and I did this. And I was like, wow, you got that together really quick, girl, because she didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting now from AIDS Life Cycle to Home Assassin, which I almost canceled too. And I'm like, when is this happening?
Yeah, Home Assassin. So like you said,
nobody knows that Home Assassin is scallop capital.
Scallops capital of the world, although we didn't find any actual scallops. But
I beg to differ. Okay, this is a very Florida or Texas thing where everything is the capital of the world. I mean, literally, my grandpa's town, Carthage, Texas, is like the best city, the best small city in the world. And I definitely disagree. Carthage, Texas.
The best little whorehouse in Texas.
Yeah. And in Home Assassin, allegedly is the scallop capital of the world. I have a very good friend whose family does scalloping outside of New Jersey.
To help people understand what scalloping is, basically we were going out in the Gulf with my mom and dad's boat, and we had snorkel gear, and the idea was you're going out maybe 3 to 6 foot deep water. You kind of go out, you're snorkeling, and you're looking for these scallops. You go down and you catch them. So I got the idea. I think once it really started coming together, it's going to be Home Assassin, and the idea of doing it while scalloping. So we're getting all these scallops, and I thought, oh, there's going to be one in the, I'll put the special one in the bucket.
With all the scallops that we were supposed to
all these scallops, and there's going to be that one special scallop. And I'll be like, oh my God, brother, look at this one.
Let's talk about why we didn't find live scallops. I have a beef with Mike that we have to talk about, and we'll make him a listener. But he needed to keep driving to the Cupcake Island. First of all, anybody from the South knows you always get weird directions when you go anywhere.
Mile marker 4, go out to the bird's nest. To the right, we couldn't find a bird's nest. And then look to the right, and there's an island that looks like a cupcake. We look to the right, and it's just a whole bunch of fucking islands. And I'm going,
that not one looked like a cupcake.
And I go, well, that was the thing is I'm like, okay, well, who wants to say what one looks like a cupcake? Because I ain't doing it because I'm going to get in trouble.
I picked one, but clearly your dad was just like, I'm done with this scavenger. He's like, we're just dropping anchor here. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I decided to get in the water. I was like, it's 10 feet down.
It's only 3 or 4 foot. And I'm like, it's deeper than that.
Because the grass is so long there. And it literally, I was dying swimming down with the scuba gear, right? And I tried for a very long time because I'm like, we are going to make this proposal happen the way Ryan wants.
We have to back up a little bit. So I flew my drone down from Maryland for this specifically. Well, I shipped it. So, and this is the first time that I was flying this.
You know what? Can I just say on this one? Because I have to say, this one sitting here doesn't know what to do. And we're like, we have to get all the camera angles. We have to have something edited. It's a beautiful video, the full proposal.
So I shipped the drone down, got it to Home Assassin, charged it up. We got on the boat. Ryan starts snorkeling I
was snorkeling first, trying to find all these damn scallops. And I'm like, there's no scallops. And then Mike is just clearly not going to move the boat. But between me being in there with this plan and setting up 3 camera angles that I had brought and tripods, by the way, I brought all of our gear. And you had the drone. I get out of the water, and then Ryan gets in the water.
There was no plan.
Okay, but there was a code word.
So let me first start off with this. So we had 30 minutes with this drone to fly it into the air. And at 30 minutes, the drone is done. So we launched the drone at a point in the Gulf, and it took off. So Ryan
told you to mind the time when we were back at the house, and because the drone only has 30 minutes.
I already launched it because I thought we were going for it.
Anyway, Ryan gets in the water. We have no clue. We had no code word. And then I just hear him like, well, we got to do this for him. And Ryan's in the water just
la-di-da-ding around, and I'm going, we got to do this. And then next thing you know, the alarm of the drone starts going off, and it's like, Peter.
In the video, you can hear it, and it is so loud.
I am sweating going, oh shit. Not only is this battery going to die, but can I land this back on the boat? And I'm like, oh my God, is this going to work? So I am flying it. I am stressed. I am nervous. And I'm like, we got to do this. And then you hear Blaine. He's like, well, I'm not ready yet. We can't do it right now. And I'm like, what? And he's pulling out
tripods, all these phones,
35 cameras, phones that are from 20 years. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the cameras and let's roll with this. And then Matt starts going, Brian, we gotta go. So then Brad swims in and gets up on the ledge. And I'm like, all right, we gotta go.
This one's swimming back finally. I'm trying to get the tripods out because nobody gave me the code word. I mean, it was literally like that. I mean, you were just sitting there like this. Well, do your thing.
To be fair, you were filming something the whole weekend before that, so I really didn't think that much into it whenever you were getting a tripod out.
So literally, you have Brad getting onto the boat. You have Ryan out in the water. You've got Matt and Blaine ruffling around trying to get shit together. I've got this damn remote going, and I'm sweating going, fuck, this thing's going to crash. And I'm like, it's going to crash in the Gulf. So Ryan starts swimming back up. Brad sits there and decides, I'm going to get back in the water. And I'm like, don't get in the water. Don't get in the water. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. And then Brad gets back out of the water and Ryan comes up and I have to run to the front of the boat because I'm going, shit, this goddamn drone's going to land in the Gulf.
Because it was trying to find its home, but we had moved on.
So that was the thing, is it kept saying returning to home, which returning to home was about 1.5 miles away. And it would just launch its ass as fast as it could to get back because I was down to like 6% battery. And I am sweating going, I've got this damn $1,400 drone that's going to land 1.5 miles away, and I don't even have the footage.
Do you know what's funny about this? Is you actually told me, even though I've actually flown drones before, you said I couldn't fly the drone because it would land in the ocean.
I would say, you will crash my drone into the ocean. You're not flying my drone.
And I said, how do you know you're not going to crash into the ocean?
And I said, I won't. So anyway, so Ryan goes on and gets in the boat.
And if you watch the video, yeah, there's like some chill tropical house music playing. And I'm just like,
we're like, get it together, girl.
So got on the boat and then found the one scallop that I need to find. The only one that matters. And that's when I pulled out
That was a very good line. Because I was freaking out that we hadn't bought scallops.
Matt talked about it. He goes, I'm just going to buy scallops and put them in a fucking bucket.
We were going to do that. And then I was like, oh my God, I didn't think we actually need scallops. But that was a very good line.
Let's give the two parts of that. So while Ryan is slowly talking about his love for Bradley in the most slow way that he possibly can.
I was intentionally slow because I was like, wait, I'm supposed to take my time for this. We're getting like video of it. Like I didn't want it to go too fast. And I didn't realize just how slow I was going.
Brad, did you realize how slow Ryan was going?
I thought he was just trying to think about his words.
Oh, honey, while he was thinking about his words, me and Mike are at the front of the boat trying to catch a fucking
They
drone.
really were. They ran to the front. I was filming, and I was sitting there like, Ryan, fucking say it now. Because we had talked a lot about your speech, which you had written out,
Yes.
and you didn't use it really.
Parts of it, but like in the moment.
Were you completely nervous as hell?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was, as an observer, for me, that was the cutest part because I think Ryan is such a confident, like, he's really never nervous about anything. You could literally tell he was so nervous, which is the cutest thing, which probably only Bradley could do. And were you nervous, Bradley? I think you just sat there smiling like that the whole time.
A little bit. I was a little bit nervous once I knew what was happening.
Speaking of nervous people in that boat, so while they're proposing, the damn drone launched out to go return to home, and I was fighting it with the wind and it trying to return, and I started to fly it back, and I was like, oh my God, we got this. And it went right up to the boat, and then it
right on Ryan's head.
Completely lost power, and the bitch hit Ryan in the head. Watch that video.
Oh my gosh. Oh! Yeah, we're going. These are my favorite comments I've seen on social media so far because we did launch just a little preview of it. One, are you okay? I mean, it was a really hard hit. That thing was going full speed. If anybody has ever flown a drone, like a drone is very hard to fly. I'm going to give this one to you. Even though you are a lovable idiot, and of course you would do this and hit Ryan in the middle of his proposal, but it was freaking hysterical. But like those drones, when they die, I mean, they just fall out of the air. They're just dead.
The weight is that fucking battery. That battery is heavy as hell.
Drone's heavy. There's 4 blades, and that whole thing came right down on your head.
That was the crazy part is, how in the hell of all places did it land right on your head? Like, it died legit right over top of you, and he's like, Willie.
So, I mean, I knew you had a drone, but I had no idea what else was happening, like battery dying. I'm in there, I'm trying to get my words out, and I hear bzzz, and I'm just assuming, oh, he's flying like the drone around us, getting footage of this.
Meanwhile, I'm on the front of the boat. I'm on the front of the boat looking like a muppet. I'm trying to get this damn thing.
So it hit you on the head. You don't know what's happened. This one, very impressively, dives in from the front of the boat, swims to grab the drone, which everybody has asked this question as well. What happened to the drone? It is still alive. You're going to have it at your wedding. We don't know if it's alive. The battery is at the bottom of the ocean.
I knew at the point that it hit the water that it was toast. There was no way that thing was coming back up. But what I was afraid of is that card coming out of the camera, and I was freaking out, and that's why I was trying to get it up as fast as possible. In the mix, the proposal was still going on,
and it was still going on. Your recovery was impressive, and I think people are asking, like, what was the after? Number one, what were you thinking, or did you even know what happened? Because I mean, a drone hits you that heavy, like out of nowhere, and then you just said, "Well, you're going viral for this."
Yeah,
and then you actually finished the proposal very well.
Yeah. I think I honestly just didn't even know what happened. Like you said, just that tunnel vision, and I was in the moment, and it's like, whoa, and then keep going. Like
it was actually, you know what? I have to say, I think the drone. A lot of people have said, was the drone objecting to your marriage? But I actually think it saved your proposal because it made you get concise and ready to go.
Sure.
And I did remind you to ask him to actually marry you.
So what did you think that happened? Like, what were you like, what the hell is this shit?
No, I was facing it. I saw it at the last second that it was falling.
And you just it's amazing how Brad just doesn't have necessarily a reaction to it. The whole time he's just going like,
and he's like, are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, you said yes before he even asked you to marry him. So there's that. I mean, that's a big resounding yes.
It's pretty obvious what was happening.
Yeah. We don't have the Coffee with Gays insurance plan yet.
You better comment, share, subscribe. We make some money for the.
Clearly, this is dangerous. This is a dangerous industry that we're in, especially with lovable idiot over here flying drones. I would have been a better drone player. I'm just saying, I was right. You were wrong, but at least I captured the moment in 3 different cameras.
You have to watch the video. If you haven't seen the video, you have to watch it because it is hysterically funny. Like, I've showed it to people who don't even know us, and they just cry laughing.
I will make sure that we have the full proposal because actually a lot of people were like, love the drone hit. Super funny. But now they want to see the full thing. It is actually really good. Have you seen it yet with the drone footage? It's about 4 minutes and it's actually really beautiful. It's like the whole boat and the pan out. Have you seen it yet, Bradley?
I haven't seen it.
Bradley, you haven't seen your own proposal video yet. That's one thing I gotta say. If I ever do get engaged,
I'll fly your drone.
well, maybe hit me in the head. I don't know. Maybe actually I like it better. It's like the perfect proposal gone wrong. But yeah, I would want all those angles. Like I would want all those angles. So that's why I was like, oh my God, we have to get all the angles. And mainly not just for like content, but really for you guys, because I think that's like amazing. It's a great proposal video, and a lot of people have asked about it because you guys are so cute.
We'll let you guys do our wedding video too.
I mean, speaking of the wedding,
We've not talked about anything like this yet.
I think I'm planning your wedding more than you are.
A week from yesterday.
Bradley, why isn't it planned? Where's my invitation? And what side of the aisle am I going to be on? I don't know. I'm going to find out. I mean, how do you decide that? Is it going to be in Dallas? Is it going to be like abroad?
Who knows? They may want to just go to the courthouse and say, screw it and have a party.
Sure, that's what I would do.
And then you're out of it.
I do hate the wedding ceremonies sometimes, except for the shorter ones. Well, it depends. You got a bridezilla that she wants like, the 2 hour. Oh my God, one of my friends did that to me. It was the 2 hour plus Catholic one. It was a lot.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's just like, I think like don't spend a lot of money on that part and like spend money on the party because that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
So where's the party? Yeah.
Just gotta have enough to make you cry before the party.
Exactly. I mean, you have like a lot of friends, Brad. You're probably like one of the kings of Dallas, I would say.
I've been here a long time.
You've been here a long time. I mean, he's got a lot of people. It's gonna be a big one, right?
The important people will be there.
Well, I hope we're gonna be there.
I hope I'll make it.
I'm not gonna say anything, but like one of my girlfriends that I've been friends with for a very long time, I was in the bridal party, and because of somebody else, was regulated down to an usher so that the other person didn't feel.
And I'm sure you rock that usher position.
Girl, me sitting people down? Are you kidding me? That is like my worst nightmare. So I don't want to be an usher. If I'm an usher, I just want to just be at the party.
You know what some people on the fucking podcast probably saying? Bitch, you're lucky if you're anything.
Are you? Because here's the deal. I've decided after my best friend's wedding, I will never be a best man again. Done with best man. You have to do too much.
Well, you have to have a best friend to be a best man. So it's.
I had a best friend, and I'm done. I've been best man a few times, and I'm done. I'm done with it because you have to deal with everybody else, and you got to like pay for everything, and then get everyone to reimburse you. It's too much work. I'm done. I'm too old for that.
Well, cheers. Cheers to the engagement.
We're very happy with you.
Love you guys.
One other question. I think we should give some advice from you guys to our listeners. So like, what's your advice? Like, about finding love?
I hadn't really said that before, but I think it is true. I mean, I wasn't like dating or looking, and then it happened. So.
And you're also like a wild child or wild angel or something like that, right? Like,
and I agree. Like, describe me as free spirit. I hear that one.
Yeah, I mean, you went from dating to a relationship to engaged in like a little over a year and a half, I would say. So what you're saying is for that last
14 months.
Yeah. So for that last single girl, me, there's still hope.
Here's my advice to you: work on yourself. And once you work on yourself, it'll come.
I am very happy, I will say, being single, and I am fine with it. Okay? If I'm allowed to be a bitter bitch.
I'll say, girl, don't sound like it.
I just think they're the cutest couple in the world, and I want to be a bitter bitch. But that's just me, and that's my personality, and that's my character. So there you go.
They have a spare bedroom.
There you go. It'd be better than moving in with you.
Well,
because I'd kill you. I'll throw a flip flop at you. That's for sure. That's great. And I'm gonna say this has been really fun seeing you guys like grow and become Brian and Bradley, or ride with Brian and Bradley, I should say. And Brad, I can't wait to get you in more content.
Okay.
I think I just have to film it. I'll just film your because I really do think that choke on it pride thing was really funny.
Set a day or like half a day or whatever, and we'll just like.
If you follow us on TikTok, you'll be seeing a lot of homosassa content. I got a lot of shit from you too.
Oh God.
Yeah, I just have you like, I don't know, eating pineapple, trying to stop a diabetic coma and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and the best part is y'all's fight. And I think it's actually a very good segue into kind of our next episode, which I know I'm super excited about. It's actually something I'm so excited about that we're re-recording it because I didn't like the first one. So for everybody with those comments, yes, we're kind of redoing it, but it's about chosen family and who we love, who we choose. Because we have family and then we have like chosen family. And I think that that's something like really big in our community. So we're excited to talk about it.
Check us out next time.
Check us out next time. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and watch the video version of this because, it is, a lot of his finger waving. You know how many times I've seen your finger waving?
Just wrap this shit up.
I'm wrapping it up here. So cheers, you guys. Cheers. Bradley, thank you for dealing with us today. Barney and Bradley, we love you.
Breaking our mug.
And girl, don't break that mug. How many guys have had that kind of budget? Soon to be done.